Hey there, it's Susan Pierce Thompson, and welcome to the weekly vlog. So, a few weeks ago, we did something we've never done before, which is we had our first ever Bright Line Eating participant as an interviewee on the weekly vlog. So today I invited him back. His name is James Hefke. He was a huge sensation, and we're gonna find out how he is doing.
What's up, James? You haven't done one of these in a while. Last one was a little over a year ago when you had hit a rock bottom with your health, and you thought it was going to be your ultimate rock bottom, but clearly it wasn't. And then something amazing happened in your life. You met Susan Pierce Thompson. You found Bright Line Eating, and it's absolutely revolutionized your life so far. You know, this might be a little TMI, but like I just noticed this. I just had to go number 2, and before that would be difficult, like cleaning myself, like my hand couldn't reach. And I know again that, like I said, this might be TMI, but I know a lot of people who are or were at my type of obesity can understand that, where I would have to do some like specific type of yoga move on the toilet. And now that's not even the case. I didn't even realize it. And it hit me while I was doing it. I'm like, oh, wow, that's different. I didn't even have to put any thought into it. That's incredible, man. You're about to hit 50 pounds, which you've hit 50 pounds probably 5 to 8 times at separate periods in your life. So this is great. 50 pounds is 50 pounds. It's a shit ton of weight. But let's double that. Let's triple that. But it's one thing, too, that I haven't once deviated from the plan in 2 months. Not once. Except consciously. Or where I, like, premeditated it. There was a time where I woke up in the middle of the night and kind of half conscious and had a handful of grapes. So technically I did get off of it. But I didn't wake up that day thinking, you know what, I deserve to treat myself, or I'm gonna binge today. I'm gonna give in to the saboteur. I haven't done that. And be proud of that, James. Be very, very proud of that. Because that's a new milestone for me. I've never gone this long consecutively on a plan before. I've always had at least one cheat day or one cheat meal or one binge that I wasn't expecting that still happened. And it's fantastic. The outreach that I've received. Like what you're gonna do for your future self. Like a year from now, I'll probably be past, if knock on wood, I'll probably be past triple digits, and I'll be a total different human being. And I'll be able to look at this and thank myself, instead of looking back 6 months after stopping a plan and being, usually 10 to 20 pounds heavier than I was when I started that plan, thinking like, just think where you could have been right now if you kept it going. It's beautiful. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to have this community. I'm so blessed to have the people that reach out to me daily and tell me how much they're rooting for me, Man, I really thought I was gonna die. I thought I was just gonna be another statistic in this epidemic, that it is what it is, because I couldn't stop. Sorry. It's just beautiful. I don't wake up anymore hating that, oh God, I gotta live another day. I gotta live another day in the grips of addiction, and not just with food, but with booze, with drugs, with everything. I'm not doing that. That is such a blessing. Like, it doesn't seem real, you know? It doesn't seem like this is happening to me, but it is. And, but I know I have to carry this message. You know, I know I have to. I've been given a pound of gold put on my lap, and I've got to share it with that person who's suffering. So anybody who's gonna watch this thinking like, oh my gosh, I have so much weight to lose. How am I gonna get to that point? Like, oh my God, like I'm so hopeless. It can happen if you do it day by day, if you do it meal by meal, if you have to. You have to do it spoonful by spoonful or forkful by forkful. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Then all of a sudden you'll wake up and it's like, holy crap, it's already been 2 months. I'm almost down 50 pounds. Holy crap, it's been 9 months and I'm down 110? Like, that's how this happens. Because time doesn't stop. Time doesn't slow down. It's going to happen. You just choose what you do with that time. So I just wanted to make this update. Some things I'm struggling with is fear of identity. That'll be in the interview with Susan, the second one. Also, the humility. Like, I feel pretty untouchable right now, you know? So that saboteur deep isn't, I'm worried that maybe one day it's just gonna say, you can have a meal. Excuse me. You can do this, you can do that. When I know I can't. I know I cannot ever again, because I know what it does to me. But except for that, everything else has been great. So I'm gonna check back in another 3-4 months maybe. Who knows when? Maybe when I hit a certain milestone in weight and do another one of these. But anybody who's gonna watch this, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I couldn't be where I am now without your support. I love all of you. Okay, bye.
So James, so good to have you back. So you weren't ready for what happened when we shot that last vlog, right? So
not at all.
The vlog was released, and then what happened to your social media feed, right? Like, you're on Facebook,
Right.
And?
Well, with Bright Line Eating, Facebook is a major component. So I would say 99% of the people that follow the program are on Facebook.
It's not that high. It's about 80%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who get a lot of value out of the boot camp and Bright Lifers without being on Facebook. But,
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
But the ones you see are on Facebook.
Yes, exactly.
And then you got flooded with friend requests and stuff, right?
In a matter of 72 hours, 3 days, I counted 645 friend requests.
645 friend requests.
Yes. And that wasn't even the craziest thing to me, to be completely honest. It was the messages I received. Dozens.
Like private
Correct.
messages.
Yeah, DMs on Facebook. And these people that I have never met, I don't know who they are, just sending me these paragraphs like, oh my gosh, James, I was so moved by your interview with Susan, your vulnerability. I wish I had the strength that you did. And there was even this one time where this woman, I think she lives in Ohio, said, you know, James, I was about to quit Bright Line Eating because I couldn't start back up again. I just kept losing the motivation and everything like that. And then after reading your interview with Susan, I'm starting again right now, and I have to thank you for that.
No.
And I'm just like looking at my phone, like deer in headlights, like, you're welcome. You know, like,
Sweet.
Yeah, you know, just
You had an impact.
Exactly.
People resonated with what you had to say.
They absolutely did.
Yeah.
And it was, I even lost a little sleep over it.
Yeah. Tell us about the last sleep. What happened?
So the first day, that Wednesday when the vlog was officially released, and that's when all the notifications and everything really was at its peak. Like, I would put my phone down for 10 minutes and I'd have like 30 friend requests, 12, 15 direct messages.
Crazy.
Just insane. And I've never experienced anything like that before. I've never gone viral and anything, and it was insane. So, and I kind of have a little bit of OCD. a lot of OCD, but and one thing I have to have on my phone is all the notifications have to be cleared.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so with that, I wasn't able to go to bed till like 4 o'clock in the morning because I was just checking all these friend requests, answering all the direct messages, everything like that. So it got to 4 o'clock and I was like, you just got to go to bed, man. Just put the phone down, fell asleep.
Yeah.
Woke up around 9 o'clock. In the matter of from 4 in the morning to 9 o'clock in the morning, I had 125 messages on my phone.
Crazy.
Just like, what? Like, I thought people sleep during these times, you know? And it was...
So for the people watching, catch us up. It's been a few weeks, and
Yes.
what day are you on right now? Are you counting days still?
I'm
What
technically not counting days. I'm just going by the weeks
Okay.
right now.
So roughly, where are you at?
Almost 2 months. So
Okay.
I would say week 7, week 8. And I'm officially down 44.4 pounds.
44.4
Yeah.
pounds. Well done. And when you arrived at my house, you were saying that this shirt
Yep.
typically doesn't fit like this. Now it's fitting differently.
So actually, this entire outfit. So this shirt was a work shirt that I wore to the absolute last stitch that it had for my body when I started, and
It was stretched out to the max.
it was stretched out to the max that my stomach was almost hanging below the fabric,
Okay.
and I almost had to retire it.
Yeah.
And now it's not doing that anymore at all.
No, it's not.
It
It's
actually
got some
fits
room in it.
pretty
Yeah.
decent.
Nice.
These jeans are the same jeans that I wore during the first interview.
Okay.
And when I first started this, they weren't snug, but they were getting to it. Like I could still button it, but I was started having those thoughts like, oh man, you probably have to go buy another pair of jeans. These are going to be pretty toast pretty soon. Now they're way too big. Like I'm literally going to leave this interview and go to the store to buy new jeans because it's gotten too big. They're like, I can stretch them out. It's unbelievable. And same with my
Nice.
belt. I'm on the last,
Really?
yeah, I'm in the last hole of my belt. And
Wow.
my pants are falling down. So
Nice.
it's going to be pretty cool officially retiring my first pair of clothing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we had some things that we said we would track, and then
Yes.
you brought some topics that you want to bring up, some things that you're noticing in your
Correct.
bright line eating journey. Last time we said we'd track your weight, so you're doing great,
Yep.
losing weight, steady. Sounds like you're not focusing on the weight too much. You're focusing
Not
on your
really.
program.
Correct.
All right, beautiful. You wanted to track mindset. Last time you said you were all in 100%. How's your mindset now?
Even more than that. You know,
Really?
I've truly accepted that this is the way I'm going to eat for the rest of my life. That if I ever have to resume or ever have to start back, I'm always going to come back to this.
Nice.
Like this might sound cliche, but like I truly believe I found the key to my lock with food. Seriously, the 4 bright lines, the absolute structure that you have to have fits me perfect, and
Nice.
it's I truly love it. Like I really, truly in my soul, like I know this is for me. I know this is going to be the fix I've always been looking for, and because I don't know if people remember from the first interview how I got to the point of truly surrendering my food addiction, and I came to a point where this was life or death.
Yeah,
And,
you were suicidal.
yeah,
You wanted out.
out, you know.
Yeah.
And I've been like that for a long time.
Yeah.
And since the start of me rehabbing my drug and alcohol addiction and now my food addiction, I haven't had any suicidal thoughts. My depression is 0. My anxiety is 0.
What?
And I have to give Brightline Eating and the other fellowships I'm in credit for that. It's
Nice.
remarkable.
That was the last check, by the way, was mental health.
Yes.
So depression 0. That's amazing. How
Yes.
long has it been since you could say that? Depression 0, anxiety 0, feeling great.
I can't even remember.
You don't know.
No, because my brain was such a whirlwind every single day. I didn't know what I was going to get. You know, I'd wake up feeling okay that day, but I would go to bed, usually some sort of ridiculous crisis I made up in my mind that I had to deal with throughout the entire day. So maybe a couple of days here and there would squeak in of being at somewhat calm and somewhat stable, but no, 98% of my days were a complete storm going on in my head.
Wow.
And food fueled that, drugs and alcohol fueled that, and I didn't think they did. You know, I didn't think that my addictions played as much of a role in my mental health as they do,
Right.
and especially my food addiction. If I were to rank my addictions, that's number one. That's the granddaddy for James. It's. I didn't think I was addicted to sugar. I didn't think I was addicted to flour, but clearly 100% I am, because of the structure of this program. I'm not even craving it anymore. I'm being 100% honest. The only thing I crave sometimes is the feeling of wanting to binge. Like, that's a big part of my food addiction.
The quantities.
Yeah,
Just the volume.
Exactly. Like the I don't want to cap on this. I want to just stuff my face and have that, like,
The full feeling.
exactly
The, like,
that feeling
the weight.
of, yeah, like it.
Yeah.
Like,
I relate to that.
right.
I have that, the
Exactly.
disease exactly like that.
Exactly.
Yep. I just want more. I want to feel like a stuffed pig, just like,
Right?
boom.
And that's when I would, in the past, I would feel calm. Is when I would hit that feeling, is like, okay, you've scratched that internal itch that you have.
Yeah.
And so I've had a couple of cravings since I've started this on doing that, but I've got to give credit to your modules and the emergency action plan. I've got my emergency action plan, and I reach out to the people that I have to, and it goes away. And I also have another saying that I like to say in my head every single time something gets a little bit tricky.
What's that?
This too shall pass. It might pass like a kidney stone, but this too shall pass. And I keep saying that in my head. I keep repeating that in my head, and it works. Like, this isn't the end of the world. You aren't, you're going to be fine.
I love that.
And it works.
Can I borrow that?
Absolutely.
This too shall pass. It might pass like a kidney stone, but it will pass.
Absolutely.
I love that. All right, so now you came with some topics that you wanted to discuss, things that you've been noticing in your journey. Someone in your boot camp house brought up the topic of body identity, and it really resonated for you. Can you say a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So I've always been known as the fat guy, as an adult. As a kid, I was the fat kid. I was always the overweight one. I was always the pudgy one. And I have some fear with that, because that's all I've ever known. I've only identified as that person, as how I've perceived myself and how our culture has perceived me.
Yeah.
I have to shop at a fat store to get clothing.
Yeah.
I don't fit into certain areas. I'm fitting better now, but
Yeah.
that's always been a part of my identity.
Yeah.
And a woman in my house, shout out Energetic House, she put something down about body dysmorphia. And I thought this was body dysmorphia, but it's not after talking to you.
Yeah.
It's about body identity.
Body identity.
Because, like, I'm a little scared. I'm a little in fear that I'm not going to know who I am once I get down to that goal weight. Once I get down to that feeling of not having all this excess fat storage on my body, and being able to shop into or fit into clothes and do things that I've never been able to do. And I have some fear
like,
with that.
Who will you be
Exactly.
if you're not fat?
Exactly.
And how will that identity feel? How will
Right.
that fit? Who will you be if you're
Right.
not fat?
Like, oh, do you know who James Hefke is? Oh yeah, he's the overweight guy, right?
big
Oh
guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
the big guy, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, or meeting people for the first time when I'm at my goal weight that will only know me as a smaller
Right-sized
person.
body.
Exactly.
What about dating? Is that in the mix there too?
Oh my gosh, that's going to be a whole different
Whole
journey.
separate vlog?
Yeah, that's going to be a
We'll
whole
save
different.
that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because you're 28,
I am,
right?
That's correct. I turned 29 in a month.
All right, and you've been overweight your whole life.
Entire life.
So basically, we're just going to put this one on the shelf and track it. Like, who will you be if you're not overweight? You've got a little while
Right.
to sort of adjust to that, but it's going to go faster than you think.
Correct.
And okay.
And maybe it doesn't bother me. Maybe I could just be worried about something in the future that I'm actually okay with when I get down to that. Who knows? It's been a recurring thought in my head.
Yeah. And just so you know, the research shows that self-concept trails behind. When someone loses weight, they don't feel as thin as they actually are when they first get down into a right-sized body. They still feel overweight in their head. So that, for example, manifests when they're, walking in the mall and they catch a sideways image of themselves, in some glass, right? they're surprised.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, who is that thin person? And they don't relate. Or they're about to pull on some jeans in a dressing room and they don't think they're going to be able to pull them up because the circle looks too small of the waistband. They're like, there's never going to fit me. And then they pull them all the way up over their hips, button them up, and they're like, whoa, look at that. That fits. That's a trip.
Right.
So the self-concept lags behind. That's known in the research literature. It's one of the reasons that sometimes slow weight loss is a gift because it gives a little bit more time for the self-concept to catch up. But it'll just be interesting to see what it feels like for you. It might take years for you to kind of settle into what it feels like to be right-sized. And, I don't know that there's any need to borrow trouble with it. Like, It is what it is, and if you just keep putting your food on the scale, it'll be what it'll be,
Absolutely.
Beautiful. You also wanted to talk about what this journey means for you, like how important it is. What do you want to tell people about that? What do you want to say about that?
This is everything to me. If I don't have this, I have nothing. Because when I got to the point of surrendering my food addiction that day, it was I shared this in the first vlog about it was that fork in the road. Which one am I taking? Death or living a life that I've always wished to have. And I see sometimes in the community people who, I don't want to say make excuses, but on why they get off plan. With me, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that because I know to my center of my soul that if I don't have this, I don't have anything. Because every time that I've ever broken anything like this in the past, it has led to me wanting to end my life. And I never want to get back to that ever. So this truly is life or death. Like there's no exaggeration with that. There's no just he's saying that. It's the complete honest truth that there's no in between. Like I was telling you before, I'm gonna be that guy that when I go to restaurants and stuff for the first time, I'm bringing my scale, because I don't care what the other people think, because I'm doing this for my life, to save my life. So it's there's no in between with that at all for me.
And you also felt that last time we maybe didn't do your health problems justice. Like you want to talk a little bit about your health status before and now. What have you noticed with that? What's changed?
The sleep apnea. The sleep apnea was so bad, and I don't think I really dove deep into how bad it was. When I had my sleep study done.
Yeah. Remind me, the numbers were ridiculous. You were waking up how often?
84 times an hour.
84 times an hour. I can't even fathom. So you basically weren't getting any good sleep
Nothing,
at all.
Nothing at all. And if anybody who's listening to this vlog who has severe sleep apnea, you know what it feels like when you wake up the next day. You're in a complete mental fog. Like I would be thinking to myself, I'd be at work like I can't even like put sentences together, in my head. And my mood, my emotions were so affected. And I thought it was just me, it was just my mental illness. I thought it was my depression, anxiety. But doing more research, it's the sleep apnea. Like how important the sleep is to you.
Yeah.
And since this 44 pounds have released from my body, my sleep's already getting better. I'm not waking up with that mental fog anymore. Sometimes I do here and there, but on the average, I'm waking up pretty energized, and it's really showing me in how bad that sleep apnea was for me, and just like how it affected every part of my life, mostly my mental health.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Other things was I was having severe IBSD.
What's that? Irritable bowel
syndrome.
Yeah. What's the D?
I think it's disorder or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows? But
right.
And horrible acid reflux.
Oh yeah.
Horrible acid reflux, to where I was on prescription that I had to take every single day.
Just acid coming up
my
all
gosh.
the time. That nasty. I had that too. Totally.
I had a story where I was having problems with my tonsils. And I thought like I kept getting these sore throats and my tonsils kept being very swollen and inflamed. So I went to a ear, nose, and throat doctor thinking like, okay, time to get these bad boys out. And he did some looking and he was like, your tonsils look okay, but what I see on the back of your tonsils is abrasions and wounds from acid reflux that I wasn't even feeling sometimes. That's not happening anymore.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I would wake up every other day with my tonsils were killing me. I'd be like telling this doctor, like, what am I supposed to do? And he even said, he's like, what's your diet like? And I'm like, terrible. You know, so, and he's like, that's a huge thing. It could be genetic, but most of the time, you know, here's a higher dose antacid to help you out. But the diet is a major contributor to this.
Yeah, nice.
And I've completely switched my diet. So like with my eating, I'm eating no processed food at all. Mm-hmm. I've even gone to the extreme because I'm 100%. Everything's organic. Uh-huh. I'm cooking everything myself. So like I'm just feeding my body the top fuel, you know?
Hey, how are you doing on the salad? Last time you were doing 8 ounces of lettuce, and that was your one biggest challenge in the boot camp, was eating 8 ounces of lettuce every night. How are you doing now?
Oh my gosh. So I still eat a salad every single day, but I do either 1.5 ounces of lettuce or 2 ounces, and I just load the rest with vegetables.
Yeah, and
That's
how's
way
your
better. And I look forward to my salads now. I love them. You know, it's you know, it's. Oh God, I've had some strange slip-ups during this boot camp.
Oh, are you going to talk about the MCT oil?
I think I have to. I think I have to. So, like I said, you know, everything's organic. Everything is like top quality nutrition. So I've been doing a lot of research on the people that live that lifestyle, and everybody said you should incorporate MCT oil into your diet on the daily basis. It's great for your liver health, digestion, brain, all that stuff. So I go out and buy a bottle, and for men, for lunch, you get 2 ounces of fat.
You don't. You thought you did. Just saying. Okay.
Yes, this was. So my lines have been almost perfect, except for the fact of some areas where I messed up that I didn't consciously do it to like sabotage myself.
Just mistakes.
But just mistakes. Yeah. So this stuff is odorless. It doesn't have any taste. It's just straight oil. So I'm like, you know what? For lunch, because I usually eat hummus for my fat for lunch, and I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna drink this MCT oil and use it as my fat. So I weighed out 2 ounces of the MCT oil, and I even thought to myself, I'm like, it was like this much of it, you know. I was like, that's a lot of oil, man. Like, you're gonna do this every day?
Oh, dude.
And I'm like, oh, you just gotta try it out. You just gotta try it out. So down the hatch it went, and 25 minutes to a half hour later, I was in arguably the worst
stomach pain
of your life I've ever had.
You're like doubled over in the bathroom.
I'm like in the fetal position on my couch. Like my dogs are just looking
for
at
hours.
me. Yeah, just hours, 3.5 hours to 4 hours straight. Like no in betweens, having to run back from the toilet, all that. And so I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, what is this stuff doing to me? You know, like I thought this was healthy. You know, it's killing me. So I go online and look at the dose, and they're like, yes, for MCT oil for beginners, the recommended dose is 1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon.
And I drank 2 ounces of it.
Nice. So last time the salads were an issue. Now you've cleared up the salad issue. You've cleared up the MCT oil issue. No more than a teaspoon. Right now, here you are, week 7-ish in the Bright Line Eating Boot Camp. What's your biggest challenge?
Feeling too confident, I think.
Oh, you're feeling a little overconfident.
Yeah.
A little worried about that.
Yeah, kind of like the I've got this feeling. Like I've got this, you know. And that's dangerous for me, and that's my ego talking, you know. That's my ego telling me that you're the Bright Line Eating king. You know, you got this, you know, you're gonna be an example for everybody. And that's a really slippery slope, because the too confidence, that sabotager can come back in your brain and be like, dude, you're so good at this, you could just take this one meal off. You're good, you know, you're out at a party or you're out to dinner, like, you know, you'll just get right back on this tomorrow. Like, no, I cannot do that.
Yeah.
Every single time I've done that in the past, it has led to pure hell for James Hefke.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you gotten to the point in the boot camp yet where I talk about if this feels really easy, imagine that you have a crystal vase and protect it. Like it's only easy because you're really doing it.
Yes.
You know, don't assume it'll still be easy if you start, messing around. You know, if you're doing it, it feels easy.
It does, right.
Stay on the path.
You know, and then I hear people like who are struggling with it. I'm just like, in my head, how? This is so easy. Like, this is so great, you know?
Yeah.
This is perfect. And like that is, and I know with my other addictions as well, that's a very slippery slope.
Yeah.
That you gotta have some humility. You gotta humble yourself.
Yeah.
So I try and tell myself that every single morning when I re-surrender my food and pray and all that stuff, and like, okay, you're just as bad as you were day one, man. Like,
Yeah.
take this
Yeah.
day at a time.
Day at a time. Day at a time. So you're about to finish up the boot camp?
Yep.
Bright Lifers next for you?
Yep.
Yeah? You're going to put, so I always advise people when they get into Bright Lifers, focus on it. Like really,
Okay.
even though you don't have the same kind of nervousness and drive that you do at the beginning of the boot camp, it's a thing to transition yourself into Bright Lifers.
Yeah.
So take it seriously. Take it seriously. Explore what's available.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
I look at this, like I truly look at this program, Susan, as in one of your modules you talked about like the repetition of like how when you wake up every morning, how you don't even have to think twice about brushing your teeth, you know? And like that's how I'm going to adopt this into my life for the rest of my life in the boot camp, in Bright Lifers. Like I'm going to try and get to the point where I don't even have to think about it. It's just so ingrained in me that it's what I do. No
Yeah.
matter what.
Yeah,
No
automatic.
matter what. So, and I love everything. Like I just want to like shout out some of my support groups that I have. So I'm in a
Go ahead, shout them out.
masterminds group with 4 other guys. Andrew, Sam, Rich, and Zach. They're amazing. All of them have been doing Brightline eating for over a year now, so that's great because I'm the newbie. And we're on Marco Polo, great app. I didn't know about it before. It's an amazing app, and it's very active. I'm in the Rochester's Brightest. There's about 45 of us in that one, and that one is rapid fire. That one's going all day long.
Yeah.
But they're amazing, and I'm the only man or male.
Yeah.
The other one are
44.
women.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I have BLE buddies. So there's 4 of us now, and I'm the only male as well. So that's Melitza, Mindy, and Janelle, and they're my accountability. So every single night before I go to bed, or all of us, we try and, how did your day go? How are your lines? How was all of that? And that's been super helpful. And then I've got another guy. His name's JP. He's 27 years old. He lives out in California, and our stories are very similar. And he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and he's trying to save his life just like I'm trying to save my life. And I'm his bookend buddy. So he sends a message to me every night about exactly what he's going to eat the next day and how he commits to it.
Nice. So you're already being of service.
Exactly. And
Nice.
just like how I said in that first interview, I can't stress enough how much of this is a we program, not just a me program.
Yeah.
So if you leave it up to just yourself, all your history proves of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you leave it up to a collective effort,
Yeah.
you can battle the storm of the crap that goes on in your head.
Yep. We can do together what we could never do alone.
Exactly.
James, thanks for coming back. We'll check
Very
in with
welcome.
you again.
Absolutely.
And next time you'll be that much further down the road in Bright Lifers, and we'll see you soon.
Can't wait.
Thanks, honey.
Okay, thanks, Susan.